Hello, I'm Barbara Norman. I'm the Foundation Chair in Urban and Regional Planning at the University of Canberra. My background's about 30 years in urban and regional planning, and most recently a particular interest in coast and climate change. I'm a member of the National Coast and Climate Change Council and Deputy Chair of Regional Development Australia in the ACT. So my interests go across social, economic and environmental issues, but predominantly about land use planning. Today I'm presenting, or this afternoon I'm presenting on coast and climate change and how we plan for urban growth and climate change in an uncertain and changing coastal environment. The key issues that I'll be focusing on are planning for uncertainty and risk, and the importance of linking land use planning with planning for climate change, such as sea level rise, storm surge, and coastal inundation that will come with that, with emergency management as well. The reason I'm interested in this is these changes will happen sooner than we realise, and we need to be planning ahead so that we minimise risk to coastal communities. The other key point that I'll be making is that if we do this, we need to be working with coastal communities and engaging very actively. I think the very significant lesson we've learnt in the recent climate change discussions is we've basically lost the conversation with the community. So I think that we need to start again, and we need to have a long, serious conversation with our coastal communities in planning for future coastal climate change. I think that these issues point to a more fundamental issue, and that's about how we plan for settlement in Australia. During the recent election, you would have heard the word regional a lot, and you would have heard the issue about population change and growth projections. I think that we've come to a point in this country where we have 20 million people or more than. If we're going to add another 14 million people, and they'll be predominantly on the coastline, then we need to have a plan. In fact, we're quite unique in Australia in thinking we can plan for another 14 million people without a plan. So I guess I'll also be calling today for something called, I've just named, something about an Australian Sustainable Development Commission. What I mean by that is a dedicated body to look at sustainable cities and regions over the long term, beyond the seeming even shorter political cycles we seem to be having at a national level, and taking a serious considered view over the long term so we could see how we're tracking. In other words, are we, the way we're managing our landscape and our coastal environments and our urban growth, are we becoming more sustainable or less sustainable over time? And that's really important for our future well-being, not only for us, but for future generations. I think that the conference, this National Coastal Conference, is an excellent contribution to making sure that these issues are at the forefront. I guess the last thing that I really that I'm calling for is a response by the Australian government to the recent National Coastal Inquiry. We've had a lot of inquiries over the years, and a huge amount of work goes into those inquiries by many members of the community, and at the very least it deserves a response by the Australian Parliament.